think just going back to, I think that all of us up here seem to be on a pretty similar page about where the main problems are. I think around the maintenance, it's not just general maintenance, it's also the accountability about maintenance. Potholes don't get filled in on time. Lights just aren't working on the streets all the time. We have those big generators because lights are out, and they'll be on for a week without them replaced. It can't take that long to replace a light bulb. They can give me a ladder, I know how to do it. So I think that there seems to be a culture that lacks accountability within the maintenance teams here on the island, and that culture itself needs to change. Because even if we go in there and we approve a different budget, and even if we go in there and we allocate new money for new capital projects or new developments, if we're not maintaining them, it is a Band-Aid on a deteriorating wound. And we have to change the entire culture that says it's okay to leave street lamps off, or it's okay to leave big potholes. They have to cut off that whole corner in the winter because it freezes over that when the main street turns. And we have enough of a disabled population, but that's a safety hazard. We have enough EMTs coming on the island, that's a problem for the island. It's not just looking at it is an eyesore. So I think there are definitely budgetary issues, but there's also going to be cultural issues that the new RIOC board is going to have to try and shake up. We'll see how much we can do if we can get into these spots, but there's I think deeper problems in the way we've approached the maintenance of our island.
Did you want to?
Yes, I do want to say something. So I am under no illusions that even if we all get elected, that we're going to be appointed, because I was elected the last time and I still haven't been appointed. So I want to take advantage of the fact that Margie is here, and even before a new board is appointed, because I have no illusions it's going to take a long time. If you could, I wanted to put my 2 cents in. Not only now that summer's coming, if you could have somebody address the fact that the grills around the island are falling apart.
They're actually getting replaced.
Thank God. Thank you.
That's
So
one.
yes.
That's one I know. And we didn't have to get an
It's an easy win.
Thank God, win. Yeah, so along with all the other maintenance issues, grills, I just thought, no, it's now gonna be grill season. Thank God winter's going away.
Okay. My name is Linda Heimer. I've been community activist here for 25 years. And the very first group I joined was the Maple Tree Group, which was trying to get elected representation on the reactor. Half a dozen of us here were on that group 25 years ago. And we succeeded to get at least 5 residents, so that was partly a success. The problem, as I see it, overriding all of these things that you're talking about, maintenance of them, is that you don't have the control of the board. Now, the unconsolidated laws of 1986, which rule Roosevelt Island right now, say that the board is in charge and the president reports to the board. The president of RIOC reports to the board. It's never operated that way. Because Albany, it's hard to fight City Hall, well, it's even harder to fight Albany than we found out. So, my question to you is, will you stand together, if elected, to fight that culture? Unfortunately, the only person who's done that on the current board consistently is Margie Smith. The rest of them, and I'm not trying to denigrate them, but some of them have a philosophy that, look, it's better to be here than to be replaced. The government will get rid of us if we don't go along. At least we have some say now. There's this kind of giving in, and I don't blame them. After so long fighting, it gets very difficult. But the only way it's really going to change is if you stick together and if you keep seeing that you're fighting it and not going along with disappointments and not going along, maybe something will happen. Maybe. Because all the other problems that we have stem from your lack of power, the board's lack of power. And it has it in the law. It's just not being implemented.
Can I ask a question? Are there any people from RIOC here right now, the administrative side of the house?
No.
That speaks volumes right there.
Yes.
But
And
do
it's
they
not
know?
as if they aren't aware.
But my question is, if do they know? Because do they know?
Of course they know.
It was in the newspaper.
Yes.
It was in the newspaper, it was
In fact-
announced, and I'll tell you, now let me just say this, I mean, that should be customer service. They should be very aware, they should know what's going on in the island, they should know the ground truth. If they're not aware, it's their fault, not anybody else's. Because if all these people knew, they should know. They should be intimately familiar with anything happening on this island. And they're responsible ultimately what happens and fails to happen here. And if they're not a good voice for us in Albany, I got a car, I got a voice, and I'm not afraid to use it, and I got a great job. So if I was on the board and collaborating to get things done and the governor decided to kick me off, that's fine, I still got a voice in the car.
In fact, just to give you a little background on that, okay, I actually went in to speak to the president of RIOC, Susan Rosenthal, and asked her support in terms of helping us get posters up. You know, posters are extremely expensive, and you'll see, if you're walking around, you'll see the little signs that I made, and the posters that I've made, and Scott's helped to put up, and some other folks have helped us put up. But I actually walked into Susan Rosenthal's office and asked her help, because they have a poster making machine. They make big posters, very professional looking big posters that would have helped us with this election. And her response was, well, I don't think you should be having this election. What do you mean you don't think we should be having an election? Well, the governor gets to pick whoever he wants, and I work for the governor. So if you're asking why this election is important, I think that says it all. Because we have administration in the Public Benefit Corporation that deals with all of the major issues in this community that think that they work for the governor and not for the community. And I know I asked you once before to tell your neighbors and your friends, maybe you understand a little bit more clearly, it is imperative that you speak to your neighbors and your friends and you get them out there to vote, so our voice, the voice of this community, is heard all the way up in Albany. So, more questions?
Well, could I have an answer from each candidate to my question? Will you stick together? Will you fight back?
Yes. Yes.
Got anybody that says no?
I'm not saying, I'm not gonna say
Well,
something.
you know, it's hard, I understand.
I'll
I'd like to
answer
know your thoughts on it.
We all want to stick together. We all want to overturn what's not good for the community. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. My greatest concern is the fact that I know, by speaking to different board members, that regularly the board members get lied to by RIOC. And that's a great concern. How do you act on a lie? How do you act not knowing what you're being told by the RIOC administration? There's no credibility. How do you do that? And that's something we're gonna have to be dealing with. All of us, if we get on the board, if we are appointed, is to realize that RIOC regularly lies to the board members. So here's another challenge.
A lot of this is theory, you know, are we gonna work, are we gonna stand together, stand the ground and go for it? I think the simple answer is, well, yes, of course, we're gonna work as hard as we can to get whatever we need done. This is not like we're taking this job for the money, right? None of us are, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If the question is, do we take a position, we're scared the government is gonna kick us off the board? To be quite blunt, I don't care. I don't care if the government kicks me off, because it doesn't do anything. This volunteering for this, applying for this, working for this, takes time away from my work, takes time away from my kids, takes time away from my volunteer effort at my local shul. It takes time away from all that. Now, why am I doing this? Because I want to, because I think it's important for the community. So yes, I got a feeling that, you know, these people agree with me, and it reflects that. We're not doing this because we're going for that cushy paycheck. There is no cushy paycheck. You know, we're doing this because we want to make it better. Now, how are we going to make it better? There are lots of different things we're going to do. And part of that is work together to strengthen accountability and do what we can to put the power back in the hands of, you know, the people, not to sound like too much of a politician, but I guess I am that. So the point is, you know, we gotta work together. But this is not about like, oh, we're just gonna roll over for the government, because who cares? It's not like, you know, it's not like we're getting paid for this. This is about passion, not about something nice on our resume. Yes?
No.
Let me just go back to the gentleman over there who's had his hand